Hey Gabe, this is Susu, and I'm on my porch, and I wish you were here so you could play with me. I think you can see the fish up there. They're swimming around. That's the daddy fish and the baby fish. But other than that, it's just me out here on the porch wishing you were here with me. So I thought I would read you a book, and it's one of your favorites. It's The Two Little Gardeners. So hopefully you can see this all right. And we'll start reading The Two Little Gardeners by Margaret Wise Brown and Edith Thatcher Hurd. All right, spring. See, it's spring. The snow melted, a snowdrop came up, and a robin hopped, and a worm turned in the ground. The sun came out. See, that's the snow on the ground. It's starting to melt. Because in the winter it's really cold, but then in the spring the sun starts to warm everything up. And the groundhog cast his shadow, and the two little gardeners came out of their house to plant their garden. And they brought their little puppy dog with them, didn't they? And the butterflies are coming out, and the birds are getting excited about the warm sunshine. And there is the turtle. And there is the mouse. You know where those are, don't you? They've got their shovels and their rakes. They're going to plant a garden. Maybe next spring we can plant a garden. So they turned the earth with a shovel and a fork, and then they chopped up the earth with a hoe. And they smoothed out the lumps with the rake, that's what she's doing, until it was soft and smooth with only little lumps in it. At last it was time to plant round little radish seeds, and then black lettuce seeds, and round wrinkled pea seeds. They're all different colors and kinds of seeds. And there's the puppy dog playing with the turtle back there, right? You can see him back there. And they planted flat pumpkin seeds, and they planted squash seeds, and flat lima bean seeds, and tiny parsley seeds, and tomato plants, and potato eyes. Look, there's a little frog. The dog is playing with the frog. What else do you see in this picture? I can see a bird right there. I think that bird's looking to find a worm. He might eat that worm. And he might like to eat the seeds too. Then the rain came, and the sun shone, and the wind came softly blowing through the night, and the rain and the sun and the soft winds in the night brought little green sprouts sprouting out through the ground. Radishes popped up, and parsley curled. See all the little tiny sprouts coming up? See, the rain and the sun, they all make the plants grow. We have to have the rain for the plants to grow. And under the ground the beets turned red, and the carrots grew yellow, and the potato sprouts grew bigger. Wow, they've got radishes and carrots and lettuce and potatoes. I think if we plant a garden, it might not be this big. This is a really big, nice garden. And look at all the birds. They're waiting for all the plants to come up and vegetables so they can start to eat them too. Everybody wants to eat a little bit of them, right? We like carrots, don't we? Carrots and potatoes and radishes. And look, the worms turned the earth over, and the moles dug about, and a little mouse built a nest in the grass roots near a rabbit hole. Oh, look, there's the bunny rabbit. And there's a squirrel. And let's see, where's the mouse and the mole? Is there a mouse in the mole? Yeah, there's the mouse, I think. And I don't know if we can see the mole in here. Maybe that's the mole, and that's the mouse. And there's the cardinal. And the butterfly. And beautiful vegetable flowers came out too. Yellow tomato flowers, big yellow squash flowers, and red bean flowers. Wow, see? Before the flowers, you have before the fruit comes, the flowers. And that's what all the bees like. They help pollinate the flowers. White pea flowers and potato flowers, all full of bees. They're friends, the bees. See, the bees don't hurt us. The bees just want to get in there and get the pollen so they can take it back to their beehive and make honey. That's what they want to do. And there's the bunnies and the mice. And the weeds came up too. And they grew and they grew and they grew. Prickly weeds, tall weeds, feathery weeds. And they grew and they grew and they grew. And the two little gardeners said, "This will never do." And they hoed out all the weeds. Yeah, if you have too many weeds, then the plants won't grow. The vegetables won't grow. But I think the birds and the bees and the frogs, they all like the weeds just like they like everything else. But we can't eat the weeds. We can only eat the vegetables. Then the sun shone hotter and hotter. No rain. So they came with their hose and sprinkled the rows till the dusty dirt was all dark and damp and wet. Oh, look there, they're playing in the hose just like we do sometimes. Now it's really hot like that here, isn't it? And the vegetables grew and they grew and they grew. Some grew so high the two little gardeners had to put up little fences for the peas to grow on, and tall poles for the beans to climb up, and sticks for the tomatoes to lean on. And they made little hills to hold up the corn. How about that? Look how tall that corn is. They can hardly reach the top. Then came the little birds and the fur animals, the gardeners, who only come to eat and who come to eat too soon. There were too many creatures in the garden, so the two little gardeners built a big flippy floppy scarecrow. Let's see. See, the crows wanted to eat the corn, and the bunnies were eating all the lettuce and the cabbage, and there was all kinds of little birds, all kinds of mice and possums and who knows what, raccoons. Everything's coming to eat the vegetables. So they made a scarecrow and a funny fierce-footed rabbit mole to frighten away any rabbits or groundhogs and squirrels and moles and field mice who'd come to eat up the garden. Look at them. They're all looking at it thinking, is that thing going to hurt us? It was just there to scare them away. I think I even see a bat up in the sky. At nighttime, the bats come out and they eat the bugs. So that's good. Then the garden grew and it grew and it grew. The corn tassels bloomed and the pumpkins got fat and the beans grew long and the carrots pushed up through the ground and the cabbages looked like great green roses, all in a row. Day after day, something was ripe and ready to pick. See the little flippy floppy scarecrow scaring away the birds? And there's the pumpkins and the squash. And every day they had to pick something because they had gotten big and ripe and ready to pick. So the two little gardeners came with their baskets and they picked and they picked and they picked. Pumpkins and parsnips and peppers and cabbages and beans off the poles and potatoes deep down in the ground and the corn from the tall green stalks until everything was picked. See, their baskets are getting full of all the vegetables that they're picking. Aren't the vegetables pretty? They're all pretty colors and they taste delicious too. And they cooked and they cooked and they cooked. Pumpkins and potatoes and parsley, corn and cabbage and beans, until everything was cooked. Wow, they had to work hard, didn't they? Having a garden is hard work. But then they got to eat it all. They ate and they ate and they ate and they ate. Cabbage and carrots and cauliflower, beets and beans and long ears of corn until they were so full. Look, even the puppy dog is laying on his back. He's so full, his belly's so full. They even have some pretty flowers. I bet they picked those in the garden too. But they couldn't eat it all, so they put some things in cans and jars and bottles and stored them away on the shelves down below in the cellar. The onions were dried and hung in big bunches, and the carrots were stored in big tubs, and there was a bin for potatoes and a bin for pumpkins, and a high dry shelf for squash. And then the little gardeners rested, and they sang a little song. They're sitting in their rocking chairs in front of the fire because now it's winter time and it's cold and there's nothing growing, so they don't have anything to do except just to enjoy all the things that they already planted and harvested and cooked and canned. They can relax and enjoy it by the fire with their puppy dog. And their song is full as a fiddle, but I won't sing that for you. But we'll sing that maybe one day. Your big sissy can play it on the piano and we can sing it. It's that's the end. And I know you like to look at the back of the book too. You can see all your friends there. Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse, Big Bird, the elephant, Ernie and Bert, and the train, and Bugs Bunny and the kitty cat. All your friends are on the back. So, next time we'll read a different book, but just know that I love you to pieces, and I give you lots of hugs and kisses and hugs around the neck. Love you.